Hey y'all, time for another one of those Sunday Funday stories. I hope everybody's enjoying. Um, Hope everybody's having a good Sunday as we come to the close of May. And I was thinking as we come into the close of May, we're getting into that season of everybody going out and enjoying the lake and just having a good time and enjoying the weekends and vacations. And so I thought I'd share a little bit of story about one time when me and my buddy John was down at T&P Lake. You see, T&P Lake was in my backyard basically growing up. I lived out there in what was the old Hickman place, big old house out there east of Bear, just east of the rodeo grounds. And it wasn't far back down to get down to T&P Lake, across from the railroad tracks. And I was down there all the time. Me and my buddies were down there all the time. And, you know, we never went down there, didn't carry a gun because we had plenty of rattlesnakes and water moccasins, or we might be sneaking down there shooting ducks off the lake or something else that was probably a little illegal at the time, but we were enjoying ourselves and having a good time. Well, this happened to be a good hot summer day, and there again, we had my old shotgun with us because you never know when you come across that snake. And John and I were walking up on the back side of that dam on the east side of T&P Lake. And for those of you that's been out to T&P Lake, you know that down close to the dam, there's a big concrete cylinder out in the middle of the lake there, and we could see there was these four guys that were standing up on that concrete cylinder. Now, John and I didn't recognize them, so obviously they weren't from Baird, but they were standing there, and it looked to me like they were a little apprehensive about jumping into the water. And so I looked over at John and I said, "Hey, won't you reach down there and grab a handful of that pea gravel?" And I'm going to point my shotgun in the opposite direction of where those boys were. And when I squeeze the trigger, you throw that pea gravel just as far as you can out across that water. And so we did, and I pointed back towards the opposite direction, and I fired, and he threw that pea gravel, and it just splattered all across the top of the lake water out there, almost all the way to that cylinder. And if those four boys was apprehensive about jumping in the water, we encouraged them quite a bit, because I think a couple of them even walked on the water to get all the way back to the vehicle where they were and left. So, you know, we had a good time down at the lake. I know a lot of people have had a lot of good times down around T&P Lake, but that old lake sure brings back a lot of memories for me. And now as I go across the overpass on 283 where you can see the lake instead of going under the railroad tracks like we used to have to, it always brings back memories as I look at the lake down there. So, hey, you guys remember to be sweet. I'll be pretty. Y'all have a great day. I love y'all, and God bless.